Okay, so the first question you came up with is, suppose we just take each one of these tiles and,
Put it on randomly.
well, we make it randomly white or black, but we fill in the whole thing.
Yeah.
Okay, and the question is, what's the probability that if you do that totally randomly, that when by the time you fill it all up, that it's all one color?
Well,
Or do you want to say it's all white or instead, or do you want to say it could either be all white or all black?
well, we can. I think it's all white or all black.
Okay. All right. So how do we want to approach this problem?
Well, we can make the problem a little simpler.
Okay. Good idea.
What we could do is, well, we could just look at the first row, and if you fill that row up, what would be the probability?
Okay. Very good. We could make the problem simpler by, instead of looking at the whole grid first, we could just look at a single row. Okay. How could we make the problem even simpler than that?
Look at a single tile.
Okay. So that would be the simplest one,
Yeah.
right? A single tile.
What's the probability that it's white or black? Well, always.
Ah. So you want to do white or black? It's going to be all the same color?
Let's do white. Let's just do white.
Let's just do white. Okay. So that we're clear, we're trying to see what happens if we fill in this whole thing randomly.
Yep.
What's the probability that it's all white? Okay. So you said start with one row, and then we can back up to just one tile.
So
So what's the probability that
it's gonna be all white.
it's going to be all white if we just look at one tile?
Well, I would think 1/2 because there's two sides, white and black, and if you flipped it randomly, there would be a 1/2 chance you would get white.
Okay. What do you think?
Yeah, that sounds right. 1/2.
Okay. All right. So we solved the problem for a very simple case. What's the next case you'd like to look
Well,
at?
we could do two tiles.
Two tiles. Interesting. All right. So now we're going to fill in two tiles. Here, just these two.
Well, what?
What's the probability that if we fill them in randomly, that they're both white?
Well, there. You could look at the total number of solutions. There would be white, white, which we're looking for, white, black, black, white, and black, black.
Okay.
There's 4 solutions, and only one of them is what we want, so it would be 1/4.
Ooh, interesting. Okay.
Well, the way I saw it is that this one's completely independent of this one. So whether this is white or black doesn't influence this one.
Okay.
So this one has a 1/2 chance of getting white. This one has 1/2 as well. So it's 1/4.
How do you go from each one having a half to having one?
You multiply them together.
You multiply because they're independent.
1/2 for each, 1/2 for each.
Okay. So we're making progress. With one tile we got a half, two tiles we got a fourth. What's the next one you want to look at?
Well, maybe we could do maybe 3 tiles.
Okay. What do you think we're going to find for 3 tiles?
Well, maybe 1/8.
How come?
Because we're doing 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2.
Uh-huh.
So 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2 is 1/8.
Okay.
Well, this
So-
gives me an idea
We
for
could-
the entire thing.
We could just do 1/2 times 1/2 times 1/2. Like, we could just
Yes.
multiply it,
64, 1/2 times, it's 1/2 to the 64th.
which I think is 1 over 128. 1/128.
It's 1/2 times a half times a half times a half times a half. 64 halves.
64 multiplications. So why don't you put your finger on a tile and just start walking down? A half?
4,
Fourth?
8,
Eight.
16, 32, 60.
64th, 128th.
Whoa. So we got to 128 right here already.
So it's going to be
huge.
It's going to be 2 to the 6. It's going to be 1 over 2 to the 64th.
Yeah, 2 to the 64th. I'm going to try to just put that into my iPhone real quick and see what that number is. It's about 2 times 10 to the 19. It's about 2 followed by 19 zeros.
Wow.
roughly.
Wow, roughly.
So that's the probability. A really small probability.
Really small.
Yeah,
probability.
because like if you just do one, that messes it up.
Yeah, if one thing goes wrong, it messes it up. But look, we did it. So did we do some incredibly rare thing?
No,
Why? Why not?
Because we manipulated it.
Ah, we cheated. Okay.
if we're just doing it by random.
Okay. Well, that was a great question. That was a great question. So it's 1 over 2 to the 64th, which is about 1 over 2 followed by 19 zeros. So super duper small.
Yeah.
All right. Good job. Good question.